Hey, how's it going everyone? This is DCSU81 and today, yes, I would like to do a continuance of this bootleg Spider-Man that I have reviewed just a few days ago. And I mentioned that I couldn't find the original and I finally found it. Yeah, apparently he was lying somewhere in between my figures and I couldn't see him. Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. So let's take a quick look on both of them. So as you can see from afar, he just looks very similar to the bootlegs, okay, but of course if you actually pull closer, you can see that the material wise, of course the original is so much better, and even the paint, I think the paint is okay for the bootleg as well. Just that the red is just beautiful. And for your information, I got this guy quite a while ago and he managed to keep in such a good condition. So I'm not sure what will happen in a few years later. It could have brittle and broken. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to keep this guy until then to update you guys again in the next few years. Okay, so but at this meantime, we just take a look. Yeah, we can see that the lining on the original is so much crisp as compared to the one which is the bootleg, which isn't that bad as well. As we take a look, and I think the mold is the same one, they just copy this guy, so you can see all the patterns are rather similar. The paint, they managed to use quite similar ones, and even the back looks so much better. Wow. And I did mention about this on the review that I don't remember having this thing here, so you can see that it's so much hidden, well hidden for the original. That's why I didn't notice there is such a joint on the neck. And I also mentioned that it started to turn white for the butterfly joints, as you can see for the fake one, but for the original, of course, is so much better. And not to mention, the joints are very smooth for this original, even though it's squeaky, as you can hear. Yeah, but it's still so much smoother as compared to this guy. Is rather rigid. Maybe it's a good thing because it just shows that how tight it is and not just very loose, so it's still good. And oh, I also mentioned during the review that this guy leave a big gap when you push the butterfly joints forward. Let's see how well the original does. Okay, I push it all the way forwards and there isn't any gap. Okay, so this is the best thing about having the original. You can see that. Yup, the big gap. Wow, so much different. And how about the, yeah, there is another big gap when you bend forward for the fake one. And let's see for the original. Oh, okay, so the original does have the same problem with the gap when bending forward. Let's see about bending backwards. Oh, okay, sorry about that. The head just came off. Okay, so yep, he does not have any gap. Let's see about the fake one. Yep. Oh yeah, I do remember this. It just keep coming off for the fake one. Let's see what happened to mine. Yep. Oh, okay. It does come out, but I do have to use some force there. So yeah, apparently the original does have the same issue. Let me put it back in. As for the lenses, you can see this one is having some very bad paints on the silver, but the original one, of course, it looks so much shinier, so much nicer. Even the spider logo, let's see. Yeah, okay, apparently I think somehow mine is losing the paints on the spider logo. Yep. But for this one, you can still see very clear black lines there. In my previous video, I did mention that this part here, this seems to have like faded off red. You can see the red is different, so let's compare with the original. It doesn't have this problem, even though this figure is quite old. Yeah, I gotten him I think at least 3 to 4 years ago. You can see it's still holding on pretty well. Next, when it comes to the accessory, both of them are having the exact same accessory. So let's compare with one of the hands. This is the left hands, which is for the wall crawling hands. The one on my left is the original and the one on my right is the bootleg. So let's take a closer look. So you can see it's almost very identical. Somehow to me, I think the one on the original do have a better red somehow. Yeah, even though the film, you can see that it looks very much identical, but if you have it on hand, you can really tell that the red on the original is so much better. Okay, and the last time when I do the review, I do have a problem to put on these hands. Yeah, it just doesn't go in for these wall crawling hands. The one on the right hand is okay, but the one on the left hand I just couldn't push in no matter what. But of course, when you try to interchange the original figures, it just go in so smoothly. You can even hear the clicking sound. Yep, so this is like the best thing about having the original. How about switching the hands? I know some of you guys are curious. Can we use the bootlegs on the original? I believe you can. Let's try. No, I was wrong. Yeah, it also doesn't go in. Yeah, somehow this hand is having some problem, I think. So let's try the original hands on the bootleg. Yep, it goes in with ease. And next, I'd like to compare the interchangeable lenses that it comes with. You can see on my left here is actually the original, and on my right is the fake one. So you can see the differences. Of course, the original is being painted so much better as compared to the fake one, and it just seems that the fake one is slightly smaller as well. And there is one very prominent differences between these two, which is the scale. Yes, you can see that the bootlegs is slightly smaller as compared to the real one. Yep, somehow they just make him smaller, even though I think the mold that they use is pretty much a clone from this original, but I'm not sure why it somehow shrink a little bit. So it is slightly shorter. When it comes to the poses, you can see both of them can pose pretty well. Wow, this is rather good even for the bootlegs. You can see it's almost the same pose, and when I do the pose, of course the one with the original is so much smoother, easier to do. And for the bootlegs, there is some restrictions when you try to bend, and you know, it doesn't feel natural. But when it finally done with the poses, you can see both of them actually looks pretty similar. Okay, yes, so I would still say that this bootleg is somehow still a good one if you couldn't find the original, or if you don't want to spend so much on the original. It is still a pretty good bootlegs, and I'm not promoting bootlegs here. I'm just saying that if you guys somehow do have a budget and you would like to have a good Spider-Man figure, this is not so bad after all. Yeah, for you to consider. And at the same time also, you might want to get this guy as something like a, you know, extra joints. You can use the extra joints in case this one does breaks down or broken. You can still use the joints that is on this bootleg, because it's much cheaper for you to get a bootleg than to get another original just for the broken joints. So once again, I do hope that you find this video informative and useful for you, and I'll catch you guys again in my next video.